Woo, Broncos country. We are 2-0, just like Kodiak said, going into New Orleans. Or rather, yeah, I guess we're going to New Orleans, but we're here to break down all of the winners, the losers, how elite this team is, how much better Troy Franklin is than Jerry Judy. And we're going to talk more about that. But of course, guys, if you're watching this, say hello in the chat. We got Dennis here. We already got Andy, which is awesome to see. Already saying Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, who now goes by
Quick with
Bill.
it.
Yeah, Bill Krosky Merritt. Yeah, go get him, man. He's going to be great. But joined here by my friends Jeremy, Kodiak, and the great Mark from Marky Sports. Leave a like, subscribe to all the channels, and we got a fun show cooked up for you guys. As we get into a lot of these questions that were provided by Jeremy, kind of talking about stock up, stock down, some different takeaways, I would love to put us each on the spot and go around and give us one big takeaway y'all had from the Broncos absolutely obliterating the Cardinals in week 2 of preseason. I'm going to start off with Kodiak. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry I'm doing this to everybody, but we're going to have to follow him up.
Yeah, so, I mean, what do we have? 20 days now until we absolutely beat the piss out of Cam Ward. And while it's nice to have these wins because it proves that our depth is very, very strong, obviously we have one goal right now, and that is the Tennessee Titans week 1. That being said, man, the 49ers and Cardinals depth could not hold a candle to what we had to offer. Troy Franklin showing that he is better than Jerry Jeudy and will be a better Bronco than Jerry Jeudy, even though that's not a very high bar. Sorry, Mikey. But then Pat Bryant, man, I was one of those people that was a Pat Bryant hater after we drafted him, but he is quickly proving me wrong.
Yes,
so, I said after the draft that he's like Court, Tim Patrick, and Puka Nacua thrown into a blender. And I think that's something that this offense has really been missing. But yeah, overall takeaway, those guys are legit.
Beautiful. Mark?
Yeah, well, I'll start off by saying I told you so about Pat Bryant. So I'll take the W for that because my Audric Estime take is freezing cold. And that leads me to what I learned. What I learned is that Audric Estime is definitely the worst running back that we have on our team. And it sucks. And I feel bad for him, and I really do want him to have a fresh start. But man, it was as clear as day. I went back and watched the game probably like 6 times now because I was super bored at work. Hopefully my boss isn't watching. And anyway, so I was watching and he's slow. He looks hesitant, but most importantly, he looks like he's so unengaged. It almost seems like he needs a fresh start after 1 year, which is crazy. So that's my take. And I'll add a little bit of another one. Maybe I'm gonna bring like the negative light so we can have a couple different things to talk about. There's concern about our offensive line depth, but as we talked about on the post game on Saturday night, it's a good thing to be worried about your offensive line depth and not your starters, but it is a concern, and it's going to be really interesting to see how it ends up working out.
Mm-hmm. Jeremy?
Yeah, I guess 2 takeaways, 2 big ones for me. We might have the best backup quarterback in the league. Like, my goodness. Jarrett Stidham's balling. Like, he just looks like he's playing with kids out there. Like, he's just like, oh, yeah. Let me run up to the line. Like, we're playing against kids. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
Not playing with kids.
All right.
Where's your head at, David?
I thought you said playing with kids.
Playing against kids. Like, playing against second graders. You know what I mean? It's like he's, like, just can read every defense. Like, he's just, I don't know. That, actually, 3. Davis Webb as well, my goodness, calling his first game, just looked like he's done it for years. Man, what a masterclass that was. And then, Andy beat me to the punch, but this is my guy in the post game, Jonah Ellis, just everywhere, looking like an absolute monster. Like, if Franklin and Ellis are the 2 guys that take the big leap year 2, along with Bo Nix, like, we are in really good shape because who knows what's going to happen with Benito. I'm not worried about it, but, like, man, to have that guy coming in as your second wave and just looking like he's just everywhere, reading the run, like, I mean, how many pressures did he have? And to be that young is just incredible. So yeah, those are my big ones.
Dude, I absolutely love it. My takeaway, well, you guys hit on a lot of my favorites, but I'll say this. Our top draft picks have played good. Our late draft picks, I'll just go hyperbolic on this. Disaster. So yeah, like RJ Harvey, everyone's freaking out. Does he get the vision? You know, whatever, man. Got that stuff corrected. Did you see the vision on that touchdown run? Seeing that little sliver of light open up. I couldn't have run through that hole. But RJ Harvey could have, or he proved that he could. And then Jahdae Barron looking like I don't know, like a first round draft pick. I mean, his tackling form, his open field tackling, denying a stiff arm from a running back, straight up denying it. I can't wait to see him in the starting lineup. He's going to be great. Now I love the Sean Payton bong hits. And I know Caleb Lohner was raw, but I got to be honest, man. I didn't know he was going to be this raw. I didn't know that Caden Prescorn was going to be directing him around on when to, start his motion pre-snap. And yeah, I'm still a little shocked, man. I'm a fan of the Sean Payton bong hit picks, but and seeing Kyle Monangai, Markey, Andy, seeing him have a fantastic preseason, Bill Krosky Merritt. Wish we had one of those guys, but I have not lost faith in our franchise punter yet. He will prove that he's a franchise punter. Better showing, at least. Let's iron out the kinks before Tennessee. So if anybody doesn't, or if anybody has any comments on that, we can chat about that, or shall we get into stock up, stock down?
I do want to make a few points about Lohner. Like, man, he looks like a basketball player. That's the only thing I can say about it. They showed the basketball highlights that he did or that he had on the 9 News broadcast, which, I mean, they weren't breaking down the basketball film like I was back in April. Yeah. Let's just get that out of the way. But in regards to Lohner, like, he committed 3 penalties, but he also drew 2 penalties. So I guess that's, the positive and negative you're going to have with a young player, one who has barely played any football. And second, with Crawshaw, I mean, I really like the second punt where he just flat out outkicked the coverage. But yeah, first punt, not too happy with. But you know what? If we keep hearing about this potential and, eventually he realizes that our special teams unit is going to be very, very good.
Yeah, I'm not worried about punters. I don't think I'll ever be worried about a punter unless it's Marquette King. Otherwise, he's going to be perfectly fine. That mustache is great. He's going to do good. But Caleb Lohner, it was tough to watch, man. I actually borderline felt bad for him, but he's positive. Did you see how positive he was? He was like, no. He kept putting his thumb up to the sideline. So, I got it. I got it. And then he's like, I'm not going to hold this time, but I'll line up illegally. And now I know that that's a penalty. I just get curious if he actually knows, like, if he even knows the rules. You know what I mean? Like, not even trying to be funny. But good for him, man. I think that they need to play him a lot against the Saints. And then they need to just IR him with something. That would make it the easiest.
Dude, we need to loan him out. Loan out Lohner to like a CFL team or something.
Oh, like
I was thinking today they should be able to do that to like college teams. Like he should be able to get another year eligibility and play with the Buffs.
Yeah.
Let him go play with CU for the year. Could you imagine that story though?
We need tight end.
That would be like the perfect storyline for you and your sports channels.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah,
Across both of them.
I'd be fired up about it, but yeah, Lohner was tough, man. I felt bad for him too, man. Luckily, he wasn't the only tight end with some blunders. Shall we talk about the tight end group? Is this a good time to Jeremy hit on some of the discussion questions? You wanna lead us off with this? Prescorn, Kroll, Lohner, a combination of either of them?
Yeah, so like if you're betting on it right now, like who's making the roster? Now I'm gonna preface it with you have to pick one, but there's a good chance they might pick 2. But if you have to pick one right now, are you taking Kroll? You gonna take Prescorn, or are you gonna take the Utah basketball player? Sorry, go. Let's go. Let's start with David. David never gets to start.
Yeah. Well, if I gotta pick one between Kroll, Prieskorn, Loner, dude, I'm hot take. I know Kroll's probably gonna make the roster, but I want to go with Prieskorn, man. I think he can block better than Lucas Kroll can, and maybe they both. At least Caden Prieskorn has pretty much caught everything thrown his way, and you just showed problems with ball security as he was crossing the goal line, but at least he makes the catches. So Lucas Kroll not always the most reliable hands over the past year or so. So I would like to go with him. Plus, there's more upside, I think. But to Kroll's point, I think that this is kind of around the time in the career where you start to see things click with tight ends, at this age. So maybe we just wrote him off too soon. I would like to keep 4 tight ends. I know that might not happen. So maybe you got enough room for Ingram, Troutman, Kroll, and then Prieskorn. But I got a feeling that they probably feel like they can keep Prieskorn on the practice squad, considering this is already the second team he's been with. But give me Prieskorn. I've been incredibly impressed with him.
You weren't scorned by the fumble at the end there.
Nah.
He's honestly, those are the kind of plays, and the way I love his body language right after that was just like, okay, that dude won't do that again. Like, he will learn his lesson.
Yeah.
And thank you for letting it happen in a blowout preseason game and not when it's week 1, or week 10. So, yeah, I'm with you. I think I know. Like, we'll go Kodiak. Do you have anybody different? I think if we might be all on the same page here.
Well, listen, who do I expect to make this team is far different than who I actually want. If it's up to me, yes, I'm absolutely going with Prieskorn. I get depressed when Lucas Kroll is out there on the field running routes, man. But, not to be dramatic, but yeah. I mean, Prieskorn, been very impressed. The fumble doesn't negate anything for me, even though I know that's not going to earn him many favors with Sean Payton, as he is a little conservative when it comes to deploying those sorts of guys. But yes, give me the guy who actually looks to be pretty far beyond his UDFA billing. I know he was an older rookie, but seems pretty smart right now. Yeah, overall, I'm just going to take this segment to cope with the fact that Lucas Kroll's probably going to make the team, and I just don't want him to. I really don't want him to, but I just don't think he can do anything. I think he offers literally nothing, but oh well.
And it might be short-lived. When Atkin gets healthy, it's not like he's coming back, so it's going to be interesting.
That is true. But yeah, I mean, I want Prieskorn. Right now, I just don't see a spot for Loner on this team. He's just a little too, how do I put this politely? Yeah, he just looks like a guy who has not played football until this past season at CU or whatever, or no, Utah or whatever. So yeah.
Mark?
Yeah, I mean, I'm with Kodiak in a sense of what I want versus what I think is going to happen, but I really do believe Caden Prieskorn will make this roster. I think Lucas Kroll will not, because I think they've got a really good chance of who's really. I mean, is there a team out there that's really going to put in a claim for Lucas Kroll? Is what you got to think of. I think the answer is probably no at this point. Whereas with Prieskorn, they probably wouldn't with him either. But because he's younger, a little bit more raw, they might feel like they could. So I think they like Prieskorn's versatility. Don't really realize why they brought in Adam Prentice. So confusing. But at least it wasn't another corner that they signed. But yeah, I do think it's going to be Prieskorn. I think he makes a ton of sense. And then I think just like you said, once Atkins get back, they can always move Prieskorn back down to the practice squad or kind of figure it out at that particular point. So it's going to be interesting. I just can't see a situation where a Loner makes the team. So
yeah, anybody puts a claim on him, man, I got questions.
It's just he is kind of, he looks like how he should probably look. Let's be honest. I know we all get excited about the spectacular catch, but asking a guy who never really barely played college football to be step onto an NFL field, next to Evan Ingram and all these guys and be step right in. It's just unrealistic.
Well, was it 52 snaps or something like that?
Yeah, 54 snaps.
I think I was looking. I think when I was looking at it, he had the same amount of snaps as Caden Prescorn played games in college. So you obviously are going to expect for Prescorn to like look like he knows what he's doing. And I'm still, and maybe Andy can help out with this in the chat, but like I'm still confused as to why Prescorn not just went undrafted, but he wasn't even a priority free agent because he had a pretty damn impressive college career.
I know. Dude,
It's weird. Like he played in the SEC for 2 years. He balled out at Memphis. He played a lot. He's pretty productive.
25, he's married and he's got 2 kids. You're not going to have to worry about him at all.
No.
Yeah. Plus, Detroit
So I don't get it.
Detroit decided they were done with him early in the offseason. Like early. I'm like, what?
I think that was a Sean Payton gift. Sean Payton's got a lot of buddies there in Detroit. He did the
That's
same thing
true.
with him. I think with Tim Patrick too.
That's true.
that was
Johnny
the
Morton.
payback.
Yeah. Johnny
Maybe,
Morton,
yeah.
Dan Campbell, both Sean Payton guys.
Yeah, well, Dan Campbell and him are like super close. Yeah, so I think that's just my tinfoil hat. But that's
You said Johnny Moore is just going to yell at you all fall camp, man.
Oh, yeah.
I just
Get
yell all
out.
the time.
Just get over here, man. You'll see how much better our guys are without him. Man.
Yep.
Real quick, I got to give a shout out. Respect my co's. I made this title with you absolutely in mind just a few minutes before we went live with Kodiak. So glad it baited. Let's
Immediately
go.
too.
Yeah. And I love this comment here from Arvada Orange. Howdy, fellas. I love that deflated reaction Prescorn had. He cares. I think he's the grateful player that works hard, and we see him thrive. I mean, wouldn't you think? I mean, I know Nate Atkins. There's a place for him on this team, but is there going to be a place for him on this team when he comes back? If Prescorn's playing well, we also got this guy Prentice, but I know absolutely nothing about him.
We had him here last year, if I remember, in a fullback battle. I don't think we were talking more about the quarterback battle, but we had a fullback battle, and he did not win it. It was weird. I have a question though. Something just came up. Sorry if I'm throwing it for a loop a little bit.
You're good.
Because I found this interesting. Parker Gabriel put out his projected 53-man roster, and Andrew Mason also put out his. 2 guys very well connected. Love both of them. They're awesome. Both of them had us keeping 3 quarterbacks. Do you think that's? Do you think that's a tell? I think I was like pretty surprised by it. I do not see any reason why we would have 3 on the 53, but that might be the thing moving forward.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. If you look at any of those Arizona comments after that game, they were lighting up like their guys like Toon and all those guys. They're like, literally give us anybody who the Broncos have over this guy. So if they really like Ellinger, like they probably feel like he's going to go somewhere else. Like maybe that's the inside knowledge they have.
They already got
like, they like him.
Brissett.
Yeah.
Well, that's their second, but like as a third, like if
That's
we,
the thing, man. If you're
teams
down
like
to your
3.
third string, pack it in, bro.
yeah, there. I mean,
You know what I mean?
until that, yeah. But if you're Arizona and you have a guy like Kyler Murray, who we don't even know what's going to happen, Brissett's been injury prone as well. You got to think about that third guy. So we might not want to carry 3 because we're fine with our 2. But like if we know our third guy who we like is going to get moved or is going to get picked up by somebody, no matter what, then you kind of got to make that space. It is interesting. I wouldn't have thought that, but I think they probably know more than we do when it comes to like liking.
Yeah,
Ellinger.
I mean for sure. And I think the elevations, like I think the fact that you can activate a third quarterback every week without having to like have him count towards the active is like a positive. But I don't know. I found that to be pretty interesting. Kodiak, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I do want to say one thing. Like you said, if you're down to your third string quarterback, you're going absolutely nowhere. Like I think back to that NFC Championship 2 years ago. I'm just like, man, once you were down Purdy and Josh Johnson for the 49ers, were you making anything happen in the game? Like, let's just be so for real.
Yeah.
And I do feel bad for guys like Toon and Bradley and Mordecai because while our defense, our backup defenses are great, those dudes have looked absolutely lost.
We're
So
ending their careers.
Yeah, you look at the third string quarterbacks like across the NFL. Like I've watched a lot of preseason football. It's not good out there, and we're not going to get much better than Sam Ellinger. I can tell you as a third string quarterback, and even he.
Well, I wanted Ben DiNucci, but he got signed today.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Per his Twitter, he's a credible source. But yeah, no, I just I don't see any reason to carry I think we're deeper than other teams that are looking at carrying 3 quarterbacks are. That's my main argument. Like, we could roll with 6 edges, we could roll with 9 offensive linemen, and I think that would make more sense.
And just remember,
pack it in. Like Mark said, if we're down to our third string quarterback, shoot, dude, I'd rather keep an edge guy or another linebacker, another tight end. That's how I feel.
But what if you're like down to your third string for a quarter, not for like a month? You know.
Well, isn't Cortland Sutton our emergency quarterback? We'll be just fine.
It might be Harvey now since he was a quarterback in high school.
That's true.
I just also feel like there's got to be somebody that you can, like, if you lose him, that you can put onto the practice squad and like elevate should you need to.
Chad Kelly.
Oh, no.
I was literally thinking about
No.
But like, I mean, even I feel like there's a lot, but yeah, could you imagine we just signed Chad Kelly off the streets? That'd be cool.
Oh man,
Two words: Kendall Hinton. we remember we're living through that. That's why you have a third quarterback.
Yeah, Philip Lindsay. May he stop complaining about the Broncos if we sign him to be our emergency quarterback. Yeah. Shall we get to another question here?
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's talk about the wide receivers. Which wide receiver doesn't get a jersey on game day? Jeremy, did you give us this question in mind, or with the fact that you're assuming Vele is going to be on the roster?
100%. He's going to be on the roster, I think.
Okay.
Okay. I think they sat him for 2 reasons. I think they didn't need to see anything out of him, and he was also dealing with a little something. So I think he's a lock, honestly. That's where the question comes in. Like, I think our 6 are in Sharpie, honestly. So if you got 6 guys that you're going to make the team, only 5 are probably dressing. So it feels bad to literally not have all of them. You know what I mean? Like, so if you have to let one sit, and it might be, I'll just ask the question, and you guys take it away. Mark, which one of the 6 are you not dressing?
Devon Vele, for sure. It's easy for me, and I'll tell you why. I think you got to learn from your lesson of last year, where you ended up signing Josh Reynolds, right? Which I get the reason why at the time. But then all you did is realize that he was kind of holding back the development of Troy Franklin, Devon Vele, and all those guys. So I think now you're in a luxury where you've got to see, okay, what kind of strides did Troy Franklin make? How good can Pat Bryant really be? And worst case scenario, Devon Vele is ready to step in and do his thing. So, and plus he's a little bit banged up still. Not like he plays teams or anything else. So I think it makes the most sense to roll like that at first. Do I think that that's what's ultimately going to happen? I would lean that Sean Payton's probably going to, make a rookie go inactive early in the season, and Pat Bryant, even though I think eventually there's no way he keeps him off. But I feel like it makes a lot. Like, if it was up to me, I would say Vele can start the season off inactive, and then you kind of see where it goes.
Yeah, Kodiak.
Yeah, depending on how serious Vele's injury is, like, honestly, I see him as more of an IR guy above all else. Like, I mean, the team probably doesn't need to do that at this point, but it could be one of those things where it's just like, all right, we don't need you. And I guess I'm looking for an excuse for Pat Bryant to be on this week 1 53-man roster, because I feel like ultimately that's what would be best for the team. Not early on necessarily, but as we get into those late games in December, January, you want all these young guys who you're expecting to contribute a lot this year to have as much experience on the field as possible, as reasonably that you can get them without sacrificing the quality of the play from the wide receiver position. But yeah, it's an easy answer. Like, if you're just not dressing any of them, Devon Vele is a game day inactive. Though I'd be surprised, even if we carry 6 wide receivers, I'd be pretty surprised if Vele would be inactive, because inactive is usually for the guys that are in like the doghouse. And I know that Vele can't block. Shout out to Atomic for mentioning that, and he's like a very limited blocker in that capacity. But yeah, so he's the first out, in my opinion.
I never felt like he was a bad blocker.
Yeah, I just didn't like the effort he gave in the first preseason game, honestly. Like, maybe I don't know. But either
I
way.
mean, it could be. I just never paid attention enough, but
I think part of it too is like we didn't get to see that joint practice that was really the real game, and he had a 70-yard touchdown in that game. So if we saw that, like maybe everybody's thinking, oh crap, we can't keep him off the field either. You know
Let me tell you a guy that absolutely tore up practice last fall. A.T. Perry.
It always ends up here.
Yeah. But maybe this is a hot take, but I don't think Vele has a place on this team anymore, man.
Oh boy.
I think, again, couple days removed from the preseason game, I was a Pat Bryant guy, but he has far exceeded my expectations with what he's already shown. Troy Franklin has shown it in a game that all this growth, all this hype is real. If a guy like Court goes down, dude, I'm definitely wanting to put Trent Sherfield on the field before Devon Vele. Like, I'd rather go with Trent Sherfield. So I think maybe you try and find a way to trade him. I think Andrew Mason brought this up with a 7th-round pick and try and get a 6th-rounder or just something like that. But I don't know if he really has a place on the team, and I don't think this is because, he totally sucks or anything like that. But I think it's a good sign in the room that I think that we've really improved from where we were at last year. We've had development with our young guys. I think we already got a hit in Pat Bryant, who's, I think, going to get every opportunity to play this year. So
I think.
Yeah.
I mean, listen. I don't think it's a knock on Vele the player. Like, if you ask me, I think Vele is a really solid receiver. I know I've seen that in the chat. Like Eli, I want to say that I think he's very good. And the reason that I'm saying that we should have him inactive is because you always know what you're going to have with him. You're going to have somebody solid to be able to rely upon. I also believe he could be a New York Jet, man. So I could be pretty happy for you as a Jets fan because we got the Muji connection and all that. The trade conversation is interesting, especially because of did you see the Eagles and the Texans trade today?
Yes.
So that's the only thing I would actually be open to listening to if it was to trade Vele, because I don't like just trading off very, very good depth pieces, at worst a depth piece, unless you're getting a player in return. So trading Devon Vele for like a second tight end or a really good depth lineman would actually make sense, because that's what happened, right? They traded Mechie for Harrison Bryant, which I don't even know he was with the Eagles. But it was like, and then like they had like a little bit of a pick swap. But I like that. So what do you guys think about that?
Here's the thing with me. I think we're forgetting exactly where we were a year ago. Like, we were in a situation where it was Sutton and Vele helping and nobody else. And now that Franklin's emerged, now that we drafted Pat Bryant, and now that Sherfield's pretty much a lock because of his special teams, we're like, oh, it's all good. I don't want to. I have perspective with Vele. I think he can. I think if he didn't have whatever little knee thing is going on, I don't think we're having this conversation, honestly. So I'm not going to flip on him that quick. I think he might be wide receiver too, still, honestly. I just don't know, because OTAs, when he was healthy, he was, by all accounts, wide receiver too. So I don't want to be like, oh, we saw 2 really good games out of the 2 other guys. See ya. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's dangerous territory. That's like, we were poor last year, and then the second we got a little money in our pocket, we're like, it doesn't matter. We got it. We're good forever. And it's like, I don't like to be like that yet.
Mm-hmm.
No, I agree. But I think you have to see through the potential, right? Because like everyone's excited about Pat Bryant and Troy Franklin for good reason. You got to see what those guys can do, because their ceiling is higher than Devon Vele.
You don't. That's the thing.
Ceiling?
Yeah, because here's the thing. I know what you're saying, but this is the exact conversation that people were having about Bo Nix going into the draft. And drove me absolutely crazy. Oh, he's an older prospect. Oh, he's played all these games. We know what he's got a high floor but low ceiling. You don't. He's already looked way better than everybody thought. I don't think we know Bo Nix's ceiling. I don't think we know Vele's ceiling. Vele took 2 years off to do a mission and then had to come back and play some football. The first guy, when we drafted Jonah Ellis and then we drafted Vele, the first thing we did is go, oh, what's this guy, Devon Vele? And Jonah Ellis like, he's the most athletic guy on our football team. And that's coming from Jonah Ellis. So like, we just don't know. And
Caleb Warner wasn't on the team then.
Well, yeah, he wasn't ready to get those 50 snaps in yet. But I just don't like to discount people beforehand. Like, you know, what was Rod Smith? What was all these people? Like, you just don't know. And just because we're seeing amazing things out of Franklin, and Bryant looks like a steal, but again, I want them all. Like, that doesn't mean that those two things don't mean this other thing isn't also got the potential to be great. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I get it. I think for me, the ceiling is you can't ignore the fact that he's 27. I know he hasn't played a lot of football, but he is 27 years old. It's just the reality of it. And he might have been like a really athletic player. I feel like he overachieved a lot last season. And I feel like I always looked at him like, I think his ceiling is Tim Patrick. Tim Patrick was always a very, very, very good receiver, but nobody thought he was bona fide number one, Pro Bowl worthy.
Yeah, we were winning 5 games a season, Tim Patrick.
Really solid. Yeah, somebody that, like, you know, you can rely upon, but I mean, I don't know. I just don't see Pro Bowl potential, right? Which is totally fine because he doesn't have to be that by any means. But with Troy Franklin, at least, I could be like, I can see him having that potential. But I mean, you definitely have to see it. There's a lot. So
yeah, I'm with you.
It's a good problem to have.
It's exactly right.
I feel like not only the chat, but the discourse that I've just seen elsewhere online too. I think this is a pretty close one where fans are pretty split 50-50 down the middle on if they feel like he should have a spot on the roster or not.
I think he should have a spot on the roster. Like,
no doubt.
As a contending team, like, okay, I will say there could be something in maybe you move him for a piece that you're weak at, backup tight end, potentially inside linebacker, depending on how you feel about the depth. But man, when you have championship aspirations and when you have Super Bowl aspirations, like, yes, I know Devon Vele is probably the odd man out, but let's not forget, before he had that knee problem, everybody was saying that he was running away with the wide receiver 2 spot. Now, you know, take that of what you will. I know media has like agendas or whatever, and ultimately we're not going to see what actually happened at OTAs. But, you know, you got to put a really good 53-man roster out there every single week if you want to be a Super Bowl caliber team. And in my opinion, you don't get better by moving off of Vele for like a pick swap, at least not yet. But if it's something that you're weak at that could genuinely improve the roster, then maybe we'll discuss that. But yeah, Vele has definitely earned his spot on this team. So I don't want anybody to get, you know, whatever about that. I think we can all agree that Vele has earned his spot on this team, can't we?
Yeah. I would like to move him because, again, we're talking about a 6th guy that maybe gets elevated at some point. I like what we've seen out of Courtney Jackson. I like the little we've seen, but plus a lot of hype that we've heard about Joaquin Davis. I think, you know, Courtney Jackson, he might be able to give you more on special teams than Devon Vele could just because of his speed. So, and not just returning either. So, yeah, but they're a lot less experienced than Devon Vele, and it is good to have those guys in there that you know you can trust. And that's one of the things that we're not privy to is really how much does Sean Payton trust these other guys. We know Vele has earned his trust.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a low. I mean, you're right. The age thing is, of course, a factor, which that also is a factor in what you would be able to trade him for, right? So you're not going to give him away for nothing. Why would you do that? So, and you're not going to get what you probably want to get. So that's another reason why you probably can't move him. But it's a low mileage 27. I know that sounds crazy, but it's a very, very
no,
low
for
mileage.
sure. It would have to be a clearly good trade. Like if we got a 5th rounder for him, I would be pretty mad. I would be very mad actually, because I just don't think you give up. But if it was a player in return that you're like, okay, this fills in a pretty solid need for us, I can make sense of that. And you're not even going to get a 5th rounder for him. I mean, let's be real. So
Now, this was another great question brought up. Price you'd be okay with for trading. Forgot the most important word in here. Goodness. Trading Jarrett Stidham. I heard the
I would
Cleveland Browns are looking for another quarterback.
I would take a third rounder or higher. Honestly, I wouldn't take anything lower than that. And then we're not going to get that because I think it'd be very stupid to trade Jarrett Stidham. But that's my answer.
I think that's fair compensation, honestly. But if you have Super Bowl aspirations and you're one play away from like that's the season, you just can't do it for a third rounder. I don't think so. I think he's even more valuable than that, honestly, to this team, not necessarily every team.
Oh, man, who was the guy that was always shilling Jarrett Stidham last year until like week 8?
Mark Lewis?
Yeah, Mark
Yes,
Lewis.
I bet Mark Lewis like lost his mind on
like,
Saturday night.
I haven't seen him writing a paragraph in the comments in a while, so maybe he did.
No, hopefully he got what he needed on Saturday night. Like he had the performance of a lifetime, and I was so happy for him.
Yeah.
So happy for Jarrett Stidham. But yeah, he's our franchise backup we got right now, baby. I would trade him for a third. I would do that. We won't get offered that. And why would I do that? Because we also got Sam Ellinger, who Davis Webb worked his magic on, and that might have been the best game of Sam Ellinger's career. Also on a Saturday night.
Probably we could always have Davis Webb be our backup quarterback.
That's true.
That is true.
Yeah.
That would be the most wild and cool story. Like he's 30 years old.
Yeah, that's
and he played quarterback, and he obviously knows the playbook really well. He wouldn't even listen to the play calls. He'd be like, "I got this. We're good."
Wasn't he part of the same draft class as Evan Ingram?
Yeah, I think so.
Or
2017.
Yeah, because he got drafted by the Giants, right? I think the Giants took him in like the 3rd round. I will say.
Like that.
Talk about saving a roster spot. You just run with Bo only, and then if you ever need a backup, you just you'll sign him the next week, and then you'll release him.
Yeah.
He'll go back to coaching.
Yeah, there should be no ban from that in the CBA, right?
Yeah,
I think you can do that technically, right?
no,
That's actually really interesting.
Remember when the Kendall Hinton thing happened? I remember they tried to make the offensive quality control coach the QB that week, and then the NFL was like, no, you're not going to get away with this.
Dude, the NFL had it in for us that week. They should have let that. I would have been in a Disney movie if they would have let
Unbelievable.
Listen,
Yeah.
Unrelated, but that was our own fault. Like with the QBs placing their tracking devices in the corners of the room, like we dug our own grave with that one. But I get what you're saying. But with Stidham, with the cost of, it goes back. It's a weird situation because if a team genuinely wants him and needs him to be like a bridge starter, I feel like Sean Payton is always going to be one of those dudes that does right by the player, and obviously that would be a promotion in a sense. Even playing on the worst team that gets the first overall pick next year in 2026, even starting for them for 17 games would be a promotion above backing up a good team like the Broncos. So, yeah, I feel like you want to do right by the players. That being said, this is the NFL. You still have these guys under contracts for a reason. So, yeah, I'm with you guys. 3rd round pick or nothing. It just, like I said, same thing I said about Vele. You need to put your best 53 out there. It doesn't make sense to go for pennies on the dollar with that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, we got a couple left here. Let's talk about other surprise cuts, and we'll also incorporate, is Singleton a lock for this roster? Any surprise cuts? Jeremy, let's have you go first on this.
I personally think Singleton is a lock. I think they're not bringing him back because for 2 reasons. I think they know exactly what he is, and if they didn't like him, I know Sean, his history is like, we'll cut him early, like he did with Tim Pack. He'll get rid of the guys that they don't plan on keeping early to try to do them solid. So I think Singleton is safe, and here's the thing about surprise cuts. That's always the question, but I honestly don't have any surprise cuts. Like the bubble guys are the bubble guys. Those won't be surprises. You know what I mean? I honestly don't have anybody who, if it is Singleton or somebody like that, I'll be surprised. But I don't think that's going to happen. So I don't know.
Mhm.
Do you guys have any surprise cuts?
I do.
All right. Well, Vele. No, just kidding.
Yeah,
Is it-
Devon Bailey. he would probably be my surprise cut if I had
Like a
if I had-
straight cut, or like
Yeah.
not make the team like traded.
Well, if
You
we
might do
can't
either
trade him, then
or.
we cut him.
That would actually shock me.
Never gonna.
Like
Yeah,
beyond
I
belief.
mean,
That would be
it's a
really
high.
surprising.
It's
No,
high.
I mean, I could. It's one of those things where it's like, I guess you can never be like fully shocked in the NFL, but that would. I
know.
can. You can make the argument.
Yeah.
Kodiak, how about you? You look like you have a shock.
I mean, are you guys going to be shocked when Lil Toast plays in the CFL next
Oh,
summer, like you guys were
man.
talking about in the post game?
No.
Dude.
I expect
I'd be more
that
shocked
more.
if he made the team.
Exactly. Exactly.
No, but one guy, Anthony actually just brought this up too, and this was actually the guy I had in mind for this. We haven't seen a lot of PJ Locke, have we?
Man,
So, like-
everybody's bringing him up in the chat now.
Yeah, I know. Like, I wouldn't be. It's one of those guys where, during the offseason, I was like, I want this guy off my team. That being said, now I've come around. I'm just like, all right, he can play his like deployed role, which is being that third safety. Obviously, shouldn't be starting, but had that spinal fusion surgery and whatever. So I wouldn't be surprised if it happened. I don't think it's likely, but that's another guy. I mean, we've seen Skinner. We've seen a lot of Skinner this preseason, and I feel like he's making a pretty solid case for staying on this team. So
Yes.
yeah,
Special teams ability as well for Skinner.
yeah, exactly. So
What
That's
do
what I
people see? What does the staff see in Devin Key, man? Because if Devin Key makes the roster over PJ Locke,
Yeah, that would be a. The only thing is, I think that they see is maybe Devin Key can play corner and safety, and that's why they like him. I don't get it either. I don't think PJ Locke is making this team. Mainly because I don't think we're keeping 5 safeties.
that is a bit excessive.
Yeah.
And that would suck. But in terms of the Alex Singleton thing, I think he's making the team under one condition. He's going to redo his contract. I think he'll take ultimately a pay cut. But then again, not, because I mean, he's only guaranteed $1.3 million of the $6.9 million hit. So I think that they'll redo it and come to some sort of an agreement. Or they'll cut him if he doesn't want to, but he has no leverage at this point.
Yeah, I could see.
So I think that that'll happen. But yeah, I guess PJ Locke's a good one. I think PJ Locke would be probably the only surprise cut, but I don't know if it's that much of a surprise anymore.
yeah, and
It's
I
just
do wanna
heartbreaking because I love the dude.
I know, me too. Like, I love the story, especially for those undrafted guys. But with Singleton, I've realized I forgot to say what I actually thought. I've been saying all offseason that I thought he was not going to make this team, and I felt pretty confident in saying that. I've come around. I think it's probably 80% to 20% that he does make this team. But like Mark said, $4 million could go, or however much, $6 million. Yeah,
If
so
they cut him straight up, yeah, $6 million.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's a 4.9 dead cap hit, or no, it'd be cap savings of 4.9, I believe. Which I mean, I think that goes a long way with the guys that you still need to lock up, like now JFM, now Benito. So, yeah, he is not coming back under his current contract. But for the guys that love the Denver Broncos and bleed orange and blue, like Alex Singleton clearly does, they'll usually find a way to keep him around.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of Nick Benito, he posted this tweet today, or Instagram post of a photo of him and saying, Plan C, not Plan A. We only got Plan A. I thought that was the only plan we had. Not Plan B, but Plan C. Hashtag if you know, you know. What does that even mean? I was thinking maybe C for contract, sign the contract, just do it.
I
Does it
googled
mean
Plan C.
for Cincinnati. We get Trey Hendrickson. Sorry.
No, you're good. I've googled Plan C, and I definitely don't think it's that. I'm not gonna go into. I put it in the Discord, but I don't think it's. I didn't know that was even a thing. I thought that was just the letter before. I have no idea. You think it's a cryptic Instagram, or you think it's an inside joke that maybe he has with his?
I don't know. Like when Cortland
his
Sutton
teammates.
posted the Powerade the night before his contract extension.
That was really weird.
He
I forgot
said,
about
"If
that.
you know, you know."
all I can say is when there's millions of dollars at stake, these players can be a little weird. That's just all I can say. Like, this stuff happens every offseason, and yeah, C for checkout, C for championship, C for cashed in. Yeah, I don't know. Thank goodness he didn't post Plan B. I feel like that would have been a little more concerning because of what I saw at the pharmacy the other day.
Well, Plan C, they're basically the same thing,
Yeah, pretty much.
but another level. But David, well, remind us about the Sutton thing with the Powerade. Was it just Powerade, or what did it say on that exactly? Do you remember?
He said, if you know, you know, right?
That's it. It was just a picture of Powerade.
It was blue and orange power. It was like blue Powerade poured into like a Broncos like
Yeah.
glass with ice. I remember that.
Yeah.
And they said, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
And then you got the
It's like a freaking puzzle.
And you
Dude,
got
if,
the bag
if
next
Nick
to it.
Benito gets signed tomorrow, then it'd be like, there's something,
Well, like Court was Plan A, Zach Allen was Plan B.
Plan C to me, like, okay, I'm going to get the contract before, like, before training camp starts. That didn't happen. Plan B was I'm going to do maybe what do they call it? The
Holden.
hold in. Yeah. Maybe Plan C is hold out. I don't know. Like, we're going to have to see, like, if everything else is normal. I mean, they asked Sean about it, like, almost every single day. He always downplays it. So, and it sounded like they were about to get it done. So I don't know.
I mean, that's
It's
what
gonna
they
get
were
done.
saying on the broadcast, right? Like,
It's gonna.
I mean, granted, they posted that fake Micah Parsons quote, so
Dude, they got me. I'm like, no shit. Did he really actually say that? Why haven't I seen that yet? What a disaster!
so bad.
What a disaster!
Right?
God, it was
there,
preseason
it's
across the
there.
board.
I know, I love it, but I think it's gonna get done, man. I don't get it.
Maybe like Zach Allen is Plan A for the offense to take, and then Plan B is Jonathan Cooper. But then you gotta account for Plan C, and that's a damn good Plan C. It could be that, but
I mean, are we on contract 3? Is that what we're on right now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, so it could just be that.
and
It
then
could just be
then JFM is Plan D.
Yeah. D's.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
either way.
don't know if we're transitioning to Bonito, but I'll go out on the limb and guarantee something. I guarantee personally, Nick Bonito will be signed before week 1.
Yeah,
That is
like
my-
we were going
that is my
back to that
guarantee.
because Nick Benito has been very vocal to like media members who have shat on him in the past. So I think he would have no problem if millions of dollars actually were at stake here. Shitting on the team like Terry McLaurin has done this past offseason, or not to say shitting on the team, but you know what I mean. I feel like he's one of those guys that if things were going sour, he would not have any hesitancy, nor should he. This is your one chance to get like generational wealth for your families for generations. I feel like if stuff was bad, we would have heard about it, but no, he's all systems go. Like he tweaked his ankle, then hit Mac Jones on 2 straight plays afterwards. So we're good. And yeah, I think much like Patrick Surtain last year, he gets extended a few days before the season begins.
I think some people might freak out, but I think he's gonna get like a $150 million deal over like 4 years. I know that might be like sound crazy. Now the guarantees won't be that high, but I think it's going to be higher than what some people expect.
Yep. What would that be? 50, like 40 million a year? A little bit, no, probably 45.
It's like 35. That's 35 a year.
Yeah, 35 a year.
Yeah.
35,
Oh yeah,
36.
over 4 years, 150.
Well,
But, like,
I
35 is
wouldn't
140,
be
it's
surprised
like
with probably with
37.
2 years of that guaranteed. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
36. Yeah, seriously. It looks
Yeah,
like
but
he's already spending the money because did you see his like full gold grills on the sideline this
Yeah, I
last
love it, man.
preseason?
Swagged
You
out.
love that? I don't love that personally.
Yeah,
I mean-
that was like that was like 2009 when I used to grow up listening to Paul Wall. He used to do
Guys,
that. I
I'm
didn't know that
a
was a
fan
thing.
of the Colorado Buffaloes. Even the white guys have grills on the team, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Riley Moss needs to get a grill, bro.
Oh my god.
That's what I want to see. Just fucking complete the package, bro.
Yeah.
Show up,
Or-
and I want him to play with it in too.
See, I want Riley Moss to lean into the other side of him. I want him to show up with like a backpack and like some, like a books. Like
Playing some cowboy boot cleats.
yeah, something like that. Like
That'd
he
be cool.
lean into that. Like yeah, that's right. I'm not trying to be. I am who I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Let's
that was
see.
interesting.
I think we took care of all the questions. we didn't really cover 53-man roster, but we can get to that next week after we have nothing to talk about after the Saints game, right? Do we want to give some predictions this week for for the Saints? What you guys are looking for, players you want to show out? Is this the Audric Estime? Nah, man, he ain't giving carries. Just kidding. He's probably getting a whole bunch this week. Predictions, expectations. Jeremy?
Yeah.
Or Mark?
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Jeremy.
Yeah, like I got to roll with like Alex's prediction is 2 for 2 so far, and so I have no reason to think we're not going to dominate like New Orleans this week. I heard that just to show you the franchise differences and like comparative, they were talking about how we've sold out every single home game since 1970, which, you can get some tickets maybe sometimes a little bit, but like for the most part, it's sold out since 1970. You can get tickets apparently to this game for like $11. Like nobody in New Orleans is excited. Like that just goes to show you like what Sean Payton brought to that team, because they were the Aints, then they were the champions, and then now back to the Aints. So
I can't believe they drafted freaking Tyler Shook. I mean, they should have drafted Shador, but even if you don't, you take somebody like Jalen Milroe in Louisiana to be your quarterback instead of freaking Tyler Shook. Are you kidding me?
Remember last year, everybody was excited because they got such a good deal on QB7. What was his name?
Spencer Rattler.
Spencer Rattler, thank you. And then you saw him play, and everyone's like, never mind.
The Rat King. Hey, dude, he might start for them again because Shook's been so bad.
This third game is going to be interesting because we're actually playing starters, which is like never happens in a game 3. It's almost like game 2 and game 3 are flipped a little bit. So I don't know if that means they're going to play just a little bit of starters and then full go on to like the very back end of the roster guys, or are they going to do the normal first team, second team, third team, fourth, So I do expect to see, like they said that they wanted Estime and Watson to get like 2/3 of like the snaps on game 2. And yeah, so I don't know if that's the plan on this week. It will be interesting to see if they just go like, hey, let's just let's showcase all the guys that probably aren't going to make it and just be healthy. Let's hope that's all it is. So
the Broncos are 4.5-point favorites only.
That's it?
And we were only 3-point favorites against Arizona. Preseason betting is usually pretty damn easy. Guaranteed they will cover the 4.5. But does Vegas know something about that? Because Sean Payton did say they were going to play the starters, and even if it's for one drive, I mean, 4.5.
8
Do they know anything about Kodiak's guarantee?
They don't know about that.
They don't know about
Kodiak. I gotta
Kodiak.
say one thing. With how hot our backups have been this preseason, is it crazy to say that if the Saints threw out their first team, would we see Chris Abrams-Drain put the clamps on Olave? Would we see Jahdae Barron put the clamps on Rashid Shaheed? Like, I'm sorry, but I might get you bricked up right now, but man, my hot take, my predictions is if the Saints starters get multiple drives, they're not going to do shit on our backup defense. We have all the talent in the world. They have absolutely nothing. And when Haener comes into the game, forget about it, man. When Haener comes into the game, oh my goodness, you're going to see Jonah Ellis, you're going to see Q Robinson just absolutely go off. And for a team that's been so poor because of how littered with, poor cap management and bad draft pick management they've been, they're still paying the effects of Mickey Loomis kicking all those cans down the road with Drew Brees. And then it's a good thing Sean Payton noped out of there. And Sean Payton, like last year we did on Thursday Night Football, he's going to let his nuts hang on the Saints, even though he stepped away from them,
I think AT. This is if AT Perry, if he plays,
he won't.
He going crazy.
David, do you have anything
clock
to say
is
about...
right twice a day. He has to get on the field at some point and produce, right?
Yes, dude. He has to, man. 11 a.m. game, by the way. 11 a.m. on Saturday.
Oh, it's 11? I didn't
Oh,
know
that is just terrible. 11
Yeah.
a.m. Mountain?
11 a.m. Mountain Time game on Saturday. So if your weekends weren't already, messed up with time and not knowing what day of the week it is,
I'm gonna have
That'll-
to cancel some plans to watch A.T. Perry finally earn his jersey. I mean, that's my prediction. Well, this is my hot take. So we forced 4 turnovers against like Clayton Tune and the Cardinals, right? Yeah, with freaking Spencer Rattler, Tyler Shook, and Jake Hayner, dude. This Broncos defense, they're gonna force 6 turnovers this week in preseason football, week 3. This is how much I care about. This is how much better we are than the freaking New Orleans Saints. 6 turnovers.
Yeah.
All right, that's a good prediction. I mean,
I like that.
if
I like
Sean's
that.
calling plays and we get 6 turnovers, we could put 50 on him.
Yeah,
And Richie, if you haven't watched enough, because Kodiak makes a reference to somebody's nuts every week. So
Yeah.
that's just it's part of the bingo card.
Somebody's nuts are hanging
somebody's nuts are hanging.
once a week.
And unfortunately, with our roster predictions, it might not be Clay Webb's. That's just all I got to say about that. So, also, you talked about all the turnovers that we're going to force against the Saints. Like, I don't know. You know how they have a turnover sword in college football? Like, Arizona has a turnover sword. I think there are some other teams.
We have a turnover
Man, he went from
thrown
nuts
in
to
Colorado.
swords
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, turnover thrown. Like, I know Tulane has those turnover beads, and I think the Broncos should go down the street in New Orleans and steal some of those turnover beads. Then Chris
Ooh.
Abrams-Drain, after he inevitably gets 2 picks off of whoever, they could throw whoever out there. I don't think it changes the fact that the Saints are just going to get absolutely demolished. Put those Mardi Gras beads on, flex a little bit.
I don't know, man. I can see it where maybe the Saints kind of hang in with us in this game. I feel like the Broncos, I really don't even think the starters are going to play. I think Sean said that, and I think he's going to change his mind because he realizes it's kind of stupid. And then the Broncos is going to be like, dude, let's get this freaking game over with and go home. And the Saints are, they're in a quarterback competition. So they got like a lot more to play for. So, but I still think we won by 2 touchdowns. But,
Yeah, Newsome, 2 interceptions. Damari Mathis gets, couple as well.
I will say the only way I think this game gets away from the Broncos is if they use Estime a lot. And I think that says a lot to how I feel about him.
And Richie, just know that David is in Texas. He's deep Texas, so it's not the Colorado weed. It's just.
Although I do still, I should not incriminate myself.
Never mind. He might
I
have.
plead the 5th.
He might have some memorabilia from Colorado from when he lived there.
Yeah, but I gotta say, Kodiak, I really love the fact that you came out with this prediction, right? You said you were gonna win each preseason game by 20 points each. Dude, it has made me care so much about watching the second half of these games.
I've thought about it each time we've gotten.
I literally was like, oh my god, pre-scoring is going to fuck this up. They're going to get like a bullshit field goal. And luckily they held on to that 20-point lead.
Okay, real quick. We went to Texas Roadhouse for a birthday, and it was like we had a big party, so we were sitting and waiting forever. And this older woman, she was probably in her 70s. I was wearing like my quarter zip with like the little Broncos logo on it. And she goes, "Can I ask you, what did the score end up being?" And I was like, "Oh, I think it was 27-7 still." And she's like, "Oh, I guess we didn't do very well in the second half." And I go, "Oh, we basically left 10 points on the field because we fumbled it right in the end zone, and we went for it on 4th down." But she's like, "Somehow I knew you knew." And I was like, "Okay," but pre-scoring making Ellinger look bad out there because he had a great game and had no points to show for it. And real quick, just for people watching, remember I was seeing like celebrities back to back every week. I got a new celebrity sighting this weekend, and
John
you'll
Elway.
never
Elway.
guess. It's if you can think. Oh, sorry, it was Bruce Brown, and then we went to J.K. Dobbins. Think of the most opposite person you could possibly get from those people.
You ended up in the Michael Porter Jr. Instagram
app. Yeah. And Michael Porter would still not have anything to do with this person either. We were at an ice cream shop, and this is a reality TV star from when they were a child.
Macaulay Culkin.
Reality TV.
Oh, I don't know. I don't watch reality.
You're talking
TV.
about Friday Night Tykes?
Nope. Non-sports
Rascals?
related. Well, kind
Oh.
of sports related, but not really.
Reality.
Oh, Ryan Sheckler.
A good one, but nope. Honey Boo Boo.
No, but no way, dude.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
actually really funny.
And
I felt like I wasn't gonna know who you were talking about,
Yeah.
but I know Honey Boo Boo.
I was like,
That's
what the
awesome.
heck? They were filming her TV show, which apparently is coming out. But she's moved to Colorado, so anybody.
Were you in it? Were you like in the
Oh,
background, like
yeah.
pretending to eat a sandwich or something?
Yeah, I should have like hit on her or something just to be like, what? No, they were like we were at an ice cream shop, like this really popular one or whatever, and we saw these people shooting cameras and they had a sound guy and all this stuff. And I was like, what the heck? And they
Wait.
go, hey, somebody over there is like getting their hair done. I
Wait,
went and
how
looked.
did you wait? How did you spot her? Because she looks nothing like what she did as a kid.
So somebody was getting their hair exactly. Somebody was getting their hair done behind the pillar. So I was like, all right, let me go walk over there. And then some lady was just like, "Oh, I used to watch you when you were little," and all this stuff. And then I just crystallized. I was like, holy crap, that's the Boo right there.
She's 4'6".
And only 19. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I might be like,
Jesus.
I'm really gonna expose myself right here. I didn't know who she was until I just looked her up on Wikipedia.
I'm not surprised by that.
So like, but this is even more embarrassing. 2 years ago, Usher came into my restaurant at Ocean Prime in Las Vegas. I had no idea who the dude was. Like, obviously, I had heard the name, but like, I didn't recognize him. So like, I'm going up to the table, I'm like talking to him, and I'm like doing whatever. And I probably, but like,
He probably
everybody
loved
in
you.
there- yeah, everybody in the is just like, oh, how's it in there? How's it in there? Like after I get out, I'm just like, what are you talking about? Then they're just like, that's Usher. And I'm like, oh, sweet, that's cool. Yeah, obviously I'd heard the name, but I hadn't heard any songs, so I had no idea. So it's not that
You're
uncomfortable.
so young,
I
dude.
know.
That's great.
That's like Usher, dude. And the greatest part is he looks the same as he did when he was young.
And literally the same year that he did that, he played the Super Bowl. Like,
Yeah.
that's how big. Like,
I mean, Usher is like he's superstar, bro.
Listen,
That's funny.
Listen, the Chiefs were in the Super Bowl, and what's it called? I don't watch the halftime show anyway, so it's like whatever.
Wow. Do you know who Ryan Sheckler is?
No.
I will say I don't. I have no idea who Ryan
Oh.
Sheckler is.
Dude.
He had
he's
a-
I'm sure if I saw his face, I'm so bad with names of.
skateboarder, professional
Yeah.
skateboarder with his own MTV reality show called Life of Ryan.
Yeah. And now he's like one of the
Oh, yeah.
owners of those melon hats that you see everywhere.
Oh
Those
yeah,
really nice ones. Yeah, he's one of the people in behind that.
I love those melon hats. But I
Me
ain't
too.
paying $60 for it. But yeah,
They're
they,
actually I have a couple. It's actually worth it. Like
Yeah.
because my daughter literally sat on one, and usually that's a wrap when you get like a huge crease in your hat. Popped right out, no problem. I was like, wow, all right, good for you.
the situation is a good
Dude,
guest.
yes. Please tell me
Yeah,
you ran into
Mike,
some
the
of the Jersey
situation would've
Shore
been good.
characters in Vegas, Kodiak.
No, I guess, I mean, the coolest one that I think all of you would know is I saw Marshawn Lynch just walking in a mall one time, but, yeah, I don't know. And
I
then-
ran into Cedric the Entertainer in Vegas.
Oh, sweet.
That was really random and weird. Yeah,
Mike
he was kind of an
D'Antoni.
asshole.
Me and my buddy were in New York. He lived
He's
in
up
New
in
York
Golden
at the
Nugget.
time, and we were walking by the Soho Grand, and there was this yellow Ferrari parked out front, and it was like a convertible. It was super clean and everything. And we were looking at that, and all of a sudden, this dude without his shirt off comes walking up, and I go, "Holy crap, that's Tracy Morgan!" And he's getting into it, and I was like, "Oh he's like, "Oh, we should get a picture or whatever." And I was like, I'll ask him. I don't care." Because I worked at a TV station, so I was like, I see people all the time. So I was like, "Hey Tracy, what's up, man? Can we get a picture?" And I didn't even notice till after that we took the picture. But he had this like iced out diamond chain on, and the medallion on it said "#1 Dad." With the
It's
shirt
actually
off.
awesome.
Like,
That's
holy
actually
crap,
great.
this is legendary, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude just bought like a $500,000 #1 dad chain.
Yep. Exactly.
That's
Have you
awesome.
guys- Have you guys ever ran into any Broncos, like particularly Nate Adkins or anything?
I have actually, yeah. That's where the legend of the root beer comes from.
Man, it's so funny. That's like starting to get a little mainstream. So
I love it. Yeah, you started a trend, Mark.
I used to see Demarius Thomas
couldn't-
all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I saw him like 4 times in like 2 weeks. I saw him.
I hung out and partied with Lance Ball. That's a pretty random
Ooh,
Bronco.
Lance
Yeah,
I remember him.
used to-
Yeah. me
He
too.
played a lot of football and never ran for 100 yards in a game. He was like extremely below average, but he's a really nice guy.
Super Bowl champion Lance Ball, right?
I don't
Was he?
think he won a Super Bowl.
With the Saints.
Was he on?
Oh, maybe. he
No,
did.
that's Mike Bell, I think.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, Mike Bell did, yeah.
Oh wait,
Fake
you know what my
news.
favorite stat about Lance Ball? I think in the game where Willis McGahee and Noshawn Moreno got hurt in 2011, I think Lance Ball was the lead back. I think he got 30 carries for 98 yards.
98 yards. Yep.
Shows how
Exactly what it was.
shows how
Yeah.
efficient our attack was. I don't know how I remember that.
30 carries. They just kept feeding him and he still got 100.
That shows you everything about Alex, is that he knows how much Lance Ball got in one game. He has no idea who Ryan Sheckler, Honey Boo Boo, or Usher are.
Usher's the big one, dude. Yeah. Yeah, he remembers. Yeah, that's so funny. 96 yards on 30 carries.
Wow.
That's right.
That's terrible. That's terrible. Well, guys, I got to wrap this thing up, but I always appreciate you guys doing this with me every week and really just forcing me at gunpoint.
I was going to say, yeah, I was thinking, we thank you for doing it with us, David,
Yeah.
although we gave you no choice.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun. But before we go, do just want to say hello to everybody in the chat. Of course, Andy, Richie, Rich, Dennis, Rodney, everybody else who was here prior, Rap. Again, be sure to check out everybody's channels. They're dropping videos. Kodiak's going viral. Mark had a video that essentially blew up the internet. So love it. Mark, what do you got going on in your channel this week? And yeah, what should the people be looking forward to?
This week, I think I'm going to start doing a few more film reviews. We had the Troy Franklin one. It was so funny. Ironically, we both dropped ours very similarly. Awesome job. Make sure you check out David's on his channel on Pat Bryant. But yeah, on Troy Franklin. I was thinking I'm going to dive in a little bit, maybe Pat Bryant or some other O-lineman. But now that the All-22 film where I can actually filter out the plays is up, it makes it a lot easier. So might dive into that a little bit. And then yeah, in the next week, man, a week from tomorrow, we'll be talking about, well, actually, even from today, we'll start talking about guys that are getting cut and, the roster moves have to happen, I think they have to happen by next Wednesday, but it opens on Monday. So that'll be interesting to look forward to.
Kodiak?
Yeah. Well, I just want to take this segment to say that it's not about me. Okay. David gave me a shout out when I had literally under 100 subscribers last November. I don't even know if he remembers this. So I'm going to do the same thing. Even though I have 850 subscribers on TikTok, David needs some TikTok love. So all of you guys who love the Denver Broncos, all of you guys who love the Colorado Buffaloes, don't follow me. It's not about me. Follow David Talks Sports on TikTok. That's what it's about today. As far as what I have coming, I mean, football season is almost here. So, I'm going to be bricked up about some Caden pre-scoring. We'll see whoever else I decide to make videos about. But keep tuning in. We're going to have a lot of fun this year.
And let's get Kodiak to 1,000, man.
Yeah,
Definitely,
come on.
Definitely.
Come on, bro.
There's got to be 4 people in Broncos country that can go subscribe to him right now. What are you, like 4 away?
No.
He's
like
65 away.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
I've gained 3 more
935.
subscribers today.
Yeah, you're doing
Nice.
good.
We got 146 watching this.
Yeah.
They better all be
I'll go do
subscribed.
it
Let
if
that
they
know.
haven't done it
Yeah,
yet.
We could finish it
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah, let's go. Jeremy, any
I just-
content on your channel?
Yeah, well, no, I mean, I just love doing this with you guys, and I don't know, maybe I'll.
Yeah.
I'm tempted. I'm tempted
Yes.
because I feel like once you cross over, you're like, okay, now let me share my thoughts about what they think about the 54th guy on the team, and it's just, I don't know. I maybe I will do it. I don't know. We're gonna see. But I will say, yeah,
We'll
go
start
ahead.
doing the post games on your channel, the post game reactions, where
Oh yeah,
we basically get on and we're either very happy or we're crying together. That was a
Right.
really good bonding moment for us last year. We
That
cried
was.
together a lot. It was awesome.
exactly.
Where do you get the hat?
Oh, the hat. This is I got this at Lids. This is but it was because it's the right shape. I noticed the NFL is doing something this year where they're releasing one hat, but they're releasing it in like 4 different shapes. So that's pretty cool. Because back in the day, if it didn't fit right, you're like, I want the hat that they're wearing or whatever, and like you can tell like Evan Ingram's hat is a little different than Cortland Sutton's hat, just on the shape. So pretty cool. Richie, I just want to say, dude, your number one dad, like, what'd you call it? Dollar Tree chain. It does stack up, because if we learned anything from Seinfeld, it's that the T-shirt that Jerry accidentally gave his dad that said number one dad on it. That was the greatest gift he ever got, and he gave him a Cadillac. So that goes a long way. It's the thought that counts.
Yep, it is.
Beautiful. I probably won't have a post game live on Saturday because I'll be in Vegas with some friends. So we'll see how it goes. But my hope is that I can come back on Sunday and talk about how Jarrett Stidham looked like he was just playing with kids again.
Against kid. Against.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully he doesn't look like he's playing with kids again.
Again is what
Depends
gets me.
Yeah, again.
Yeah.
Well, have
All
fun in
right.
Vegas, man. That'll be fun.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
Let's hope I don't roll sevens, baby. So y'all have a wonderful night. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. Go Broncos.
Go Broncos, baby.
Peace out.
He's grabbed and he's going to